Gents, we're back. You ready to rock?
Ready to go.
I'm always ready to rock.
Here we go. Oh! Get sticked and inflictor!
Get an ambulance. Get an ambulance. Boom.
Right off his stomach.
Straight off his melon.
Oh, I can't believe he did that.
With a long-range shot, the arms up. It's a point.
It was one of the great days.
Hello, wherever you're watching. Welcome to this week's episode of Freddy and the Eighth. Great to be sitting between a couple of champions, Brent Fittler, Andrew Johns. We're in the broom cupboard this week. We've been punted.
So Boris Becker hung out?
In the
Didn't he get in strife in a broom closet or something?
I don't know.
Yes.
He's certainly
Was
in
that
strife.
in jail or out of jail?
He's certainly in strife, wasn't he?
I actually watched a doco on him the other night. It was really good. Really good. He won Wimbledon 17. Boom, boom.
Things you learn on Freddy and the Eighth. Coming up, shock news, Tevita Pangai to walk away from rugby league for boxing. I'll get the boys' reaction to that. And also, we'll answer the question, we'll get the boys' opinion anyway. Who's the NRLW GOAT? There's a few candidates, isn't there? Comp's been
there
awesome
sure is.
so far this year. Speaking of women's sport, tonight, Matildas versus England, World Cup semi-final. How big?
I'll be going.
Really?
Are you going?
I'm going.
Wow.
I got an invite this morning.
Wow.
Yeah. Coca-Cola, thank you.
Good stuff.
Haven't got a spare ticket?
No.
It's going to be fantastic. Good luck to the Matildas. They have inspired and galvanised the country.
I was talking to someone today about this. So Australia's biggest probably audience ever watching a sporting event would have been Kathy Freeman.
Yes, there was 8 million people. the
I
official
think
ratings.
the other one was probably America's Cup back in the...
Not as many people.
No, and that was...
Yeah.
But this will rival that.
It's quite
This
incredible.
will rival... No, and this will rival Kathy Freeman's, I think. Might even break it.
Why do you reckon so? Like, obviously Sam Kerr brought the original audience. Like, everyone knows Sam Kerr. But what do you reckon it is? Just the way they've played?
Just the way they play.
Yeah.
And I think women's sport at the moment is going through the roof.
They play very exciting.
It's good to watch.
They're fast.
Fast,
And
aren't
they've
they?
got really good counters too.
Well, but it didn't start that big, the World Cup. I don't think, to start with, the first game, I don't think it was that big.
Well, there's not
But
that
then
much
it's
on
just
free to
gone
wear
whoosh.
either, that's why. Like, it was hard to know when the games were.
We've become experts at women's football here on Freddy and the Eighth.
Well,
Good
they
luck to
will
the
be
girls.
tonight.
Absolutely. Enjoy yourself, Freddie. Incidentally, too, we talk about the television ratings. You've seen the pictures of people watching it in all sorts of weird and wonderful spots. There was this picture of the people watching it on the plane, but have a look at the one person here who wasn't. Look at they were watching. There's our viewer, and they were on a plane.
Have we got that?
Yes,
Surely we got that.
yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The magic of TV, don't you
Yes,
love it?
there you go. Listening to Freddie make one of his wonderful points. Yesterday's hero.
Is there sarcasm in that? There was sarcasm in that, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
there definitely was.
And not at all.
It's just coming out of your mouth.
Here we go.
With all the dribble. Who scores this try?
Okay, so this is Tigers. It looks...
Perfection. An intercept against the run of play. There's only open space
Oh,
in
Willie
front of
Talau.
him, and you will not stop the Kiwi from here.
No. I reckon really cool.
It looked like he was playing in.
Yeah, Matt Utai.
No, it's not Matt
There's Matt
Utai.
Utai next to him.
Luisi.
Lalisi.
Lalisi?
That poise working to perfection. An intercept against the
Doesn't
run
look
of
like
play.
him, too.
Willie Talau has only
Yeah, it's
open
Willie
space
Talau.
in front
Willie
of him,
Talau.
and you will not stop the Kiwi from here.
He's a good player, Willie.
Well, he's playing there against the team that his son plays
son
for.
plays
Tommy.
for, Tommy.
And he's off to Manly.
Good player.
He's part of the,
Tommy started Canterbury. He played junior rep football at Canterbury.
Tommy's part of the exodus leaving the West Tigers
Actually,
for Manly.
Willie's assistant coach somewhere. I saw him after a game coming down from the coach's box.
Right. Hey, it's a debate about Luke Brooks. So, this is his last home game in West Tigers colours this week, and the club hadn't organised a farewell for him. So they're scrambling to do that. A few people saying, well, should he get a farewell? He's decided to leave the club. What do you reckon? He spoke 200 games for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you know what? 6 years ago, when they all bailed, he stayed.
Yeah.
So that's got to count for something when the big four were all talking about, where they were going to play, and he stayed. So I'd be very disappointed if they didn't do something.
He's played really well in the last month.
Really well. Really, really well. I think he'll play next year at Manly. He'll go through the roof.
Tigers pronounced favourites this week against a ravaged Dolphins outfit. Boys, we saw the kicking duel. Well,
Yeah.
it wasn't a kicking duel. It was a kick back. If there would have been a kick from Penrith, then that would have been a kicking duel. But nothing excited the punters more back in the day than the old school kicking duel. So what about some of these old school rugby league facets?
Just having a look.
What about the torpedoes?
Yeah.
Remember the torpedoes?
Did you ever wear them?
No.
No.
Chook Heron. St George.
That was a St.
St.
George.
George.
Mainly
Yeah.
St George.
Yeah.
They must have had shares
Luke
in.
Priddle.
Tony Pereira.
Tony
Priddle.
Priddle.
What about shoulder pads? They were big in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. Ciro was
Remember
big
the
on shoulder
Wayne,
pads.
the Wayne Pearce shoulder pads? Did you have them when you were a kid?
No, I never had them.
The green and yellow.
It was funny watching blokes hook into it like before a game because they're all straps. Like the fancy ones. You had your basic ones when you watch Ray Price, which are literally there.
Yeah.
Then you had the ones that come down here and they're straps going everywhere.
Really? Wouldn't have been comfortable.
No.
You could move your arms.
Big Ciro. Ciro was the biggest bloke on the field, and he put shoulder pads on, and then taped his head. Seriously, Ciro.
What about, just for 1 week, maybe we should bring back sand.
Yeah, I'd love it.
Yeah.
That'd be
You
good.
get a kick with sand in your
Yeah,
mouth.
100%. Yeah. Trying to think when kicking tees came in. They didn't come into late 90s, maybe.
Well, Chook was most probably the first. He didn't retire until after 2.
Darryl Halligan.
Darryl Halligan, Chook Halligan. When did he retire? So he played in the mid 90s for Canterbury when they
Late 80s.
won the
with
grand
Norths,
final.
Yeah,
Late
he would have-
90s.
99, 2000,
Yeah.
maybe, retired.
The Magic Sponge Boys, or is that
That's just-
since the days of COVID? Has that been?
That's
OH&S have said no Magic Sponge.
Mate, I'm very tolerant to things. That's just gross when I think back.
I'd love to have a crack at the Magic Sponge.
Oh, he used to drink it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And the spray, the Magic Spray. Did you ever get hit with the Magic Spray? Or was that was more of a cricket thing, wasn't
No.
it?
No,
When
was
you
it?
got hit
No,
with a cricket
It was
ball.
all sponge, mate. All
Yeah,
sponge.
it was all
Sponge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Getting let on the field.
Or the dart at half time.
Yeah.
The last one I saw of that was Jason Moody. Remember Moods?
Yeah. Smitty, Jason Smith.
So Moods, that would have been, when was Moods
Played
playing?
Origin. Played Origin in
He played
2001,
Origin,
I
yeah,
think.
but
South,
he left
played for
Newcastle.
South. Parramatta.
I think he left Newcastle in 2000, maybe, Moods. I roomed with him one time, and it was like rooming with Jason Smith. Woke up one morning, I'm just sitting looking at Moods, and he wakes up, and the eyes haven't even opened, and he's straight for a bunger as soon as he wakes up.
Very good.
What about tucking your collar into your jersey?
Oh, the jersey, tuck in, the collar.
The Brent Kye.
You know the one I do miss is the hot dog man. I'm not sure if he's still the hot dog man.
Mary Street, Leichhardt Oval.
Mary
Still there.
Street, he's the only one there.
Still there.
And then you'd get the big league as well.
Yeah.
So you'd have the big league mag. And I remember as a kid when I first played, all I wanted to see was my name in the big league.
Number 33.
No,
What
it's,
number
my
would yours
first
be?
game was
President's
19.
Cup.
No, my first game was in reserve grade.
So reserve grade 5'8".
I played reserve grade 5'8".
It was so good. Who thought that you would have 1 to 13 for
Yeah.
first grade? Then you'd start fullback at
Yeah.
reserve grade at 14. Who
Yeah.
thought of that? And you keep the same number all day.
You know who I played against? Joe Rapati. Do you remember Joe Rapati?
yeah.
Mate, his legs.
Legs.
were about- I looked over just going, really? Look at the size
in your
of him.
first game.
My first game.
Wow. He played for New Zealand, didn't he?
Joe Rapati.
Oh, yeah.
He was a massive.
Mate, Manly used to have teams where they'd have 4 or 5 internationals in their reserve grade
Reserve
side.
grade, yeah.
Boys, big news in the last 24 hours. You coached Tevita Pangai in Origin this year, Brad. It seems this year is going to be his last.
Wow.
Heading off to boxing. Haven't seen this since Anthony Mundine, but a code change at the age of
Are
27.
you sure?
Well, that's the report.
Wow.
Has he come out and said it?
I don't know at this stage, but it is widely
I find
reported
it.
that he is going to be leaving rugby league to take up a career in boxing. Now, he has had a couple of. Has he been sort of prominent on those rugby
No,
league fight nights
he had a
before?
fight. He had a fight in the off season.
That was it.
I'm pretty sure that's his first fight.
He's
had two, has he?
fights.
Well, I did. I remember speaking to Payne. I said, "Who's the best boxer?" And he said Tevita.
Wow, $750,000 a year. Give it away to go and pursue boxing.
That's a shame.
You want to back yourself. It was funny, I thought the game was a perfect example of Tevita. I mean, if you watch the first 6 minutes, you go, that's the best player in the game. He was unbelievable against Newcastle.
Two hit-ups every set for the first 3 sets.
And ran straight through them.
Yeah.
But then threw an offload, went to the ground, and, the game, his game changed. But he was, and still most sure he is, the most talented front rower nearly that's ever played. Like, unbelievable.
So remember the Penrith boys were talking about in camp about when he played and he went after someone in that semi-final when he's playing for Penrith. I can't remember him playing for.
I remember.
They played Parramatta in week 2.
No, he scored a try under.
It was in the majors. Did he go after Nelson? Right. In the major semi, and the Penrith boys said if Tevita didn't do that, they wouldn't have won the game.
Yeah. No, they had, when we spoke to them, they had big raps on him. And you know what? When he was in camp, great company, really good fella. Just went about his business, good trainer. Good luck to him.
Huge gamble. Never saw the best of him. Is that a fair?
Well, we saw bits and
assessment?
pieces. Bits and pieces, just not consistent.
Maybe a bit of time away from the game, given he's only 27. He might come back, learn something from boxing. Surely boxing training, that's got to be awful. Sitting there fighting people every day.
So I remember we were at Belmore at the start of the year on that real hot day.
Oh, yeah,
and he was talking to Sonny. I think he was saying he was down 8 kilos if he played the previous years. I think he said he was down to about 120. Yeah. Would that be right?
Well, he missed a large chunk at the start of the year.
Yeah, the start of the year.
Back from injury.
But he was talking about his weight. I said, "What did you play at last year?" I thought he said 128 or 130.
Crikey.
Oh, that's a big, and he's mobile.
Yeah.
But in what I'm saying, if he boxes, does he have to get down to a certain weight, or
no, in heavyweight,
in just anything?
Just anything.
Remember George Foreman?
Yep.
Mate,
the big fella.
The big Irish bloke, Pommy bloke, is a
Tyson Fury.
Mate, he's 7 foot. Yeah. He's a monster.
Good luck with that, Tevita. What about Canterbury?
Do you think you'll be back, Freddie? Do you think
yes.
I'd love to see him back.
Yeah, I
I'd
think
love
so
to
too.
See him. He's a Newcastle boy. Love to see him come home. Come home, Tevita.
What about Canterbury? I heard Gus mention on 100% Footy that this is, in his opinion, a harder rebuild than the one he undertook at Penrith, which has been so successful since. And actually, it's quite a big statement, given that the Panthers are on the verge of pretty much going broke when Gus arrived.
First question, Freddie. Do you think Matt Burton's a 5'8" or a centre?
I'd love to see him at centre. I think he's a better centre.
I just don't see him talk. I don't see him out there grabbing players and organising. And to do that, playing the halves, you've got to be that dominant figure. I don't know if he's got the personality to play 5'8". Maybe outside a really dominant halfback, but I don't see him organising, pushing players around.
So in defence, it's the thing they don't get. I watch a lot of 5'8" and halves. You know, you are in the perfect position to control numbers. And that's your job. You go back, you push them that way, you need one, whatever it is. You are in the best position to control numbers. I don't see many of them do it at all. Like, that was your role. Jamie Soward, for as much criticism as he used to cop, was a very good defender because he was smart. He'd run up offside, he'd hold back when he had to. Like every now and then someone would run over the top of him, but he was very smart. And, you know, those smarts get you so far. But I don't see it. I don't see a lot of blokes. Actually, the other one was Joey Manu. I watched him in defence for about 20 minutes. Just didn't say a word. Did not say a word. Didn't understand that side of the game at all.
He's hardly played 5'8".
I know, but everyone was saying he should be the 5'8" coming through. I'm saying, well...
Is Burton their number 1 5'8"? Because I say no, he's a centre. And then you go Toby Sexton. I haven't seen enough of Toby.
Could he play fullback?
Well, they got Stephen Crichton going back there.
They got Blake Taff as well.
And they got Blake Taff. Stephen Crichton will be their fullback next year to start with. Toby Sexton, I haven't seen it. I've seen glimpses. I've seen 1 or 2 good games, but I haven't seen the consistency. Whether he's a long-term number 7. Avarillo, I think he's a centre.
He's gone.
He's gone.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, you can have the best pack in the world. You can have the best, but you haven't got in the key positions, half, 5'8", fullback. You know, you've got Reid Marnie there. You haven't got the key players doing their job, then you're pushing it uphill. So moving forward next year, here's the halfback Dogs have signed.
Sexton.
They got Sexton. They got the young guy.
Olawapu,
but he's a 5'8". So it's up to Toby Sexton, really. It's his job.
His first game was good, and I think, but
But that's what I'm saying, mate.
The Dogs have died since
I haven't
then.
seen it consistently
Yeah.
4, 5, 6 weeks in a row. And
And
that's-
on the weekend, they went 6 minutes, they were great, because I was watching the time to see how long it'd take. And Carlin went to the left-hand side and just went bang, bang. Their centres just come flying out of the line, Carraz and that. Just because I think, too, that they haven't had one team the whole year. I can't remember the same team coming out week after week, not once. So
They've been decimated by injury.
that is
decimated.
so hard to get little combos on the edge, especially when you're dealing with blokes who will change a position and hard. So Cameron Ciraldo, that's his go. He's
Luke
supposed to be a
Thompson, he was
defence coach.
underdone. He couldn't move laterally. Luke Thompson yesterday.
Imagine your first game in round 20, was it 26?
They're round
Oh,
23.
that'd be
But on
tough.
paper, yesterday, their pack on paper looked strong.
Yeah.
But they're just blown away.
Yeah, but the first two tries went through them two.
Yeah. The gap between kick out.
They
and
dummied
Luke
both
Thompson.
times.
Yeah.
One dummy, straight between them.
So they've signed Talke Aho, Jamin Salmon, Taff, Crichton.
Say it again.
Talke Aho,
Yeah,
Jamin Salmon,
yeah.
Crichton, Blake Taff. They're the main ones. I don't know if there's any other
They've got,
profiles.
they've got a really good halfback coming through, but he's 16, 17.
They need another hooker. He plays above his weight too much. And plays most games.
Liam
remotely.
Knight's joined the club this year too.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Good luck, Gus. We're all behind you. Not that he needs our best wishes. Thursday night footy. Massive game this, coming up tomorrow night, live and free on 9 from Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Both teams need the win, particularly the Cowboys, who are desperate hosting the Sharks.
The finals race is still wide open. Thursday, a crucial clash. Here we go! The Cowboys on the edge of the 8 battle the Sharks, shooting for top 4.
What a game!
Blockbuster Thursday night footy, live and free on 9 and 9 now.
Andrew, Newcastle, flying. How many is that in a row? 6?
6.
What a performance. What
Yep.
a turnaround.
They were very good.
They were good, weren't they? They look hungry.
Is Jackson Hastings going to come up
I
after?
don't think he'll play.
No? Oh, that's a big loss.
You know,
It's a big loss.
you know what I like, Joey? Like even in the early parts of the game, was that they didn't shrink. They kept playing. Even when Canterbury were putting pressure on them,
Still passing the ball.
still passing the ball. Everything looked slick. They were
it was-
onside. The balls weren't hitting the
You know
ground.
what it's like when he's confident, when
Yeah.
you're confident. Everyone's confident.
That was really good.
It's good to see.
So, the top 8 spot looks highly likely, of course. I mean, it's actually not beyond the realms of possibility Newcastle could finish in the 4.
Yeah.
Starting with Souths on Sunday,
Cronulla.
Cronulla Dragons.
It's a tricky draw. Tricky draw.
On
South-
form, you'd be tipping them to win on this weekend, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Against Souths?
Yeah, they've named some front rowers in the extended squad. Totola and Saleh.
Yeah, that'd make a difference.
Gyro's carrying that back injury. I was watching him last week. He was constantly having that thing pushed in his back. So he's obviously got dramas there. Shaq Mitchell, he's been named at front row. I think Totola and Saleh, I just think they should just give him another week off. Just to be sure.
Yes. Just get them right, just in case they make the finals.
This will be a good game. This will be a high-scoring game. Well, Knights' defence actually, it's been dynamite.
Well, South need to do something. South, it'll be interesting their state of mind. I'm pretty ordinary against the Dragons. Was it Dragons? No.
Yeah, up in Cairns.
Yeah,
Another. Where are Souths playing this week?
Newcastle.
Of course, up in Newcastle.
But they got the bye too, South. So South play, they got the bye next week,
No,
and
Parramatta.
then they go Roosters.
Yep.
What a game that'll be.
Gee, they've covered
Well,
some
if the
ground,
Roosters,
Souths.
yeah. If the Roosters win the next couple, they've got to play Parramatta.
Yeah.
And they play Tigers
Yeah.
and
The
South.
last South.
It's not at Allianz. They should move it. It is.
Yeah, it is. Sam Walker's in 18 too for the Roosters this week. He might come back. Speaking of halves, Fitzy pulled the ripcord on Matt Moylan for Braden Trindle a few weeks back. It's worked.
Yeah. He's too good to be playing reserve grade, Braden Trindle. Way too good. That try he set up for Wade Graham on the
Is that a
weekend.
call?
Double pump, played short. That was my favourite player of the weekend. He's a good player, Braden Trindle, and defends well.
So Moylan's on the bench at the moment, Freddie. Now he came on and
You know
he
what?
played a little bit of middle, which was not expected.
That's a good position.
Yeah.
He can play a good role. He's had experience at halfback, 5'8", fullback.
What about the
So he covers
defensive
a few.
workload?
Well,
Does he get helped out there a little bit?
well, how many of them do that come on and can cover those positions? So, you know, he's on the bench because his defence wasn't great. So you'd think he'd be going out thinking, you know what, I need to tackle. And they put him in the middle. It's easier to tackle in the middle. It's just harder because you just can't breathe. You've got to go up and back, up and back. Nightmare. But it's actually easier because they run straight at you. So it's Oregon good play, and I think it makes them more dangerous.
Big game up in Townsville. Jeremiah Nene is back.
I didn't know he was back.
Very valuable
With him
inclusion.
coming back, he'll add so much.
Yeah.
He is an absolute gun.
They're off the bye too. They needed a break, didn't they? They won that 6 in a row, then a couple of losses. They probably get a week off at the right time.
It was amazing,
Lukey
actually.
playing?
Joey was saying
Finnifuaki?
Finnifuaki.
Luki's in.
Yeah.
And, you know, just the difference between him starting and then coming off the bench. I remember they played the Titans and he just struggled to keep up, and the Titans, of course, they were playing well, just couldn't get in the game.
Well, even emotionally, for him to start preparing all week, there's psychologically, there's a difference coming off the bench to preparing yourself to get out there from kickoff. Oh, he's another gun. How do you pronounce him?
he's a weapon.
Finnifuaki.
He is a gun.
He's only a kid too.
He's 19, isn't he?
They've got a lot coming through. You mentioned the Roosters there. They're up against Para this week. Mitchell Moses, broken cheekbone, gone for the rest of the year.
Eye socket or cheekbone?
Oh, is it eye socket? Both. Crikey.
No, he played half an Origin with a broken back.
He's tough, isn't he?
Tough.
Bit tougher than his uncle.
Yeah.
Hey, Benny.
Dylan
Joey,
Brown.
I'm talking about Joey Elias, not Benny.
Not John. Dylan Brown's gone to halfback. Dejan Arce is at 6. Up against the Roosters, who still have some semblance of a chance to play in finals footy.
And they have. Angus Crichton's back. Good to see. Sam Walker on extended bench.
Would you start Sam? I know Drew Hutchison scored 2 tries last week.
Well, you know what? The young bloke, Sandon Smith, geez, he was effective off the bench.
Yeah, he's
He
good
was
off the
very
bench,
good.
isn't he?
So you nearly got to leave him there. So
Jeez, that's good. Angus is back. I thought he was going for the year.
you got to make a call. You know, on the Sam Walker thing. Given he scored 2 tries last week, I got to say.
Just put him in.
They got to win. You know, does that make the decision for them? He's an attacking focal point for them.
Well, maybe they don't. You know, maybe Parramatta. Oh no, they got a few players back. Reg is back. Micah. Ooh, that'd be a good game.
Okay.
That'd be a
See,
good game.
there's games of real consequence.
Isn't there
this
some
weekend.
real good games?
I'm
The
just
jigsaw of the
looking,
top 8 and top 4.
So they're both on 26. So you got Rabbitohs and Cowboys on 28. So if any of those teams win, they'll jump. You know I'm big on the for and against. Have you looked at the for and against?
What about Canberra's
Canberra?
for and against?
But it's perfect from top to Roosters, except for Canberra,
Oh, in order, you mean?
in order.
Really? If only everyone could see this phone. Maybe not.
In order, all the way down to Roosters.
That's amazing. How did Canberra make?
It always ends
How
up
did
like that.
Canberra in the top 5 with a minus 110 for and
They
against?
just caught some shellackings. and on the worst, what was it? 48-2 on the weekend?
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah. Didn't give a yelp.
They
did
have to make a statement against the Bulldogs this week. They just have to.
At home.
Where's it at home?
Oh, that's what we should mention. Jared Croker is going to hang up the boots at the end of the year.
What a good
Great
player he's
player.
been.
He's been a wonderful servant for that club, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's back in the lineup this week, so he'll get a very warm reception as always. NRLW. It's been a super competition so far. You've seen it all here on Nine's Wide World of Sports. But who's the GOAT of the NRLW?
Yeah, I'd say Ali.
Brigo. Ali Brigginshaw, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
For me, I think that has got to be Ali Brigginshaw.
Early days, but I'd say for me it'd be like Ali Brigginshaw, someone like her who's been around the game for a really long time now, and yeah, she was at the top of her game for many years.
Yes, I would agree. I think Ali's just been very consistent over a long period of time, and she really just controls the game so well, and she's still got so much more to give.
Ali or Tamika. Ali's just like consistently the man always, and then Tamika's the same.
And you've got Tamika Upton, who's very hard to play against. Made some highlight reels with her. Yeah. She's the player that you want to have in your team, and you don't want to play against her because she's just so freakish in the way that she plays. I feel like she's 5 steps ahead of a lot of people if Tamika, honestly, if she doesn't get injured and if she's not out this year, like, she's just next level.
Boys, so many stars in the game. Now, for a long time, Ali Brigginshaw, she was the out-and-out GOAT.
Yeah.
But there's some challenges now, isn't there? There is a host of good playmakers. There's some really tough forwards. Our own Millie Boyle. My favourite's Samaima Taufa.
Yeah, they're tough.
Kira did.
Kira Dibb. I like Taryn Aiken, what she did on the weekend, and Emma Tonagato. They're just great movers. They're like 5'8", great movers, great
Jess
passers.
I haven't seen her out. She got in the clear last week. I thought she was going to go 90, and she ended up getting picked up.
Isabel Kelly, watching them two play,
yeah.
they're so strong. They're such great athletes.
For me, Ali Brigginshaw.
Still?
Yeah, still. Ball in two hands, plays the game at her speed, passing, kicking, understands the game. And then Jess Southwell coming up, nipping at the heels. Well, Jess was 18. Another 12, 14 years of it.
Isn't it amazing to think, where will the NRLW be in a decade's time? Incredible.
Lana Ferguson makes a really good point. Every girl that's come through now had to stop playing for a certain period of their age.
So the next generation.
The next generation that have started from 6-year-olds and play all the way through, the difference will just go through the roof. It'll be awesome.
I was talking to someone today who's involved in high up in sport, and he was saying that the Matildas is going to affect AFLW because Sam Kerr, for example, she didn't play soccer till she was 13, 12 or 13. She was playing AFL against the boys. Like, she grew up in WA, like her brother's an AFL player. So he thinks that a lot of the good athletes who are playing AFLW
it's
will
the
be
same
going to
sort
soccer.
of
Same sort of skill set, yeah.
You're kicking and you've got to be fast,
And
you've got to be fit.
And that speed endurance.
Wow.
I was wondering
there's a couple of
what's
girls
going on
from
with the
Bulldogs
Matildas, well, what's going on at the moment. What's going to happen there for the next couple of years? What, you know, because the heroes, these the players, Fowler and Sam Kerr and all these, they're going to be on the walls of the girls. Yeah. So
the government's got to jump on the back of it too. There's been
a debate
about funding.
The really good athletes will be maybe going.
So what will happen
to
though? Advertisers
instead of.
That's what they need. They need advertisers. Well, at the end of the day, you get paid for who watches.
Well, I think they're very well supported from a corporate perspective.
Well, they need to be more.
Oh, it's going to go through the roof. And deserves to be given away.
They're talking about a public holiday. Put that money into development or.
What money?
The Matildas. Well, it costs small businesses millions of dollars.
Public holiday for us. Seriously, there should have been one when Newcastle won the comp.
It was for a week.
It was in Newcastle. Not an official one, but no one turned up for a week. They were all out with Joey at what was that pub that burnt down?
The Burwood.
Oh, the Burwood.
No, it was numerous other pubs.
Every
Seven
pub in
Seas.
What was your pub? Burwood? Where'd you drink it?
Back then, the Burwood.
Where'd you go when you won the comp? Say the second. Where's the first place you mentioned? Is it
the Workers' Club?
Workers' Club.
And King Street there. I'm trying to think.
Maybe
After 2001, 97 we were about that. 2001, I don't know.
And is it true that I don't know how we got onto this? Is it true that there were people waiting for you on the freeway when the bus was driving Newcastle?
But that in 2001, we got home at 2 in the morning, and the whole stadium was packed.
Isn't that amazing? Talk about pandemonium.
It was amazing. And they reckon after the 97, they estimate there was 100,000 people lined up from Central Coast all the way back to Newey.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is proper support, isn't it? Here's the NRLW ladder, by the way, and Newcastle.
Yep.
Second position behind the Roosters. Not a lot between these teams, of course, given there's only 4 games played, but 4 teams on 6, Roosters, Knights, Raiders, like the Raiders.
Roosters going to be
Titans.
Titans are good too, they're tough.
Yeah.
And the Tigers are unlucky. The Tigers were cruising along, they got beat on the bell.
It's Noddy's coaching them, isn't he?
Yep.
He's doing a good job.
So they would have been unbeaten. No, they wouldn't have been.
I'm surprised the Broncos are where they are. Geez, they look a good team. Gail Broughton didn't play last week. She went over to New Zealand for some personal reasons. Hope she's okay. She's a gun.
Para. Need something out of Para.
Yeah, they lost a lot of their team. So
To the Roosters.
and then Kennedy Sherrington. How long did she get?
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
So she's got the comp.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
All right, NRLW, you see it all again here on 9 this weekend. Round 25. 3 more rounds and we're into the finals, eh?
Really?
Cowboys Sharks, Thursday nights. We've sort of already touched on this. I should mention as well, player of the match, Paul Green medalist in games between these clubs. Nico Hines won it when they met back in round 8. It was 44-6 in favour of Cronulla. Very different set of circumstances this time around.
Well, we don't know, yeah.
Well,
in terms
Nene
of-
back.
in terms of the form, etc.
If
Yeah.
Jeremiah Nene's back and Lukey's back, I think they're pretty much morals, the Cowboys. I was tipping the Sharks, but now they're back. Those two weapons.
Oh,
It's
good the
got a
Sharks.
good forward pack, everyone at the Cowboys. Still no Valentine Holmes.
Sharks were good.
Although, what's his Tuolungi went goodness on us. Yeah, Sharks were really good.
Spirited again.
I just think
Your Cowboys?
I just think coming off the bye. Well, I was Sharks, but now I know those gun back rowers are back.
Ready?
I'm going Cowboys as well.
Cowboys. Townsville crowd. They'll
The
be
home
out.
game.
They'll be out en masse. Parramatta Roosters Friday night footy, Combank Stadium.
A few players back for Parramatta, Regan Campbell-Gillard and Micah Sevo.
No Moses.
Angus Crichton back for the Roosters. I think that's all. But they're a lot
Well, Sam
stronger than
Walker's named
Parramatta.
an 18. I think the Roosters will win this one. Just. It's a big cracking game.
I think so too.
Dragons Storm Saturday night footy here on 9. Dragons have been brave last few weeks.
Been good.
They have been. Just I like some of those young forwards. The brothers,
The Couchmans.
Couchman brothers, twins. And who's the other guy? Russell, the young back rower. They got
Do you
some
know
good young
that they
forwards.
I think I'm right in saying it was the first time in Premiership history 2 sets of twins.
They played
played
at the same time.
team.
Yeah.
The Fines and the Couchmans.
Wow.
How about that? And there's the Mulways as well.
Yes.
Remember
They're not
Canterbury?
twins.
Canterbury had the Hughes, the
Yeah.
Mortimers, and they have another set of brothers? No. The Dragons just make too many unforced errors. Like,
Is Lomax back this week?
no.
Zach
he doing?
Lomax. Yeah, he's
He's
been
out.
named to the Senators.
Shoulder. Oh, he is. I saw him on the weekend, actually. I didn't think he was playing.
He's been named to the Senators.
Yeah.
Storm. Before last week, I thought there was just two hopes. Brisbane and Penrith. But with the Storm, we're getting players back. Remus Smith was back. He played well. And with Pappenhausen.
He sizzled on the weekend, I reckon.
So then you got Pappenhausen, Harry Grant, Jerome Hughes, Munster in the spine. And then you got everyone else around them. I still think maybe they're one front rower short.
Well, but on the bench, you got Alec McDonald, but you got Tarek Sims.
Or Tarek's back from suspension. He was
Bit of
suspended.
experience there. Like, he's got a good game in him, Tarek. So,
Alec McDonald, I like him as a player.
he's a good player. I think their back rows, you got a couple of sort of inexperienced, Katara and Liero. So, Liero's been playing good, scoring plenty of tries.
Qatar's come good too, actually.
Yeah, he's
after
good.
injury.
Still inexperienced, though. I think sometimes, like in a big game, you got to edge defence. It's making big decisions.
I think they've leapt up the Storm.
I
They're a
spoke to-
genuine threat now.
I spoke to Scotty Sattler, who saw that Falcons game on the weekend. He said, watching Ryan Pappenhausen was like men against boys.
Put him straight back in. Put him straight
Could
in.
be the wild card. And Raiders Bulldogs,
Sorry,
Sunday
is
footy.
he been named Pappenhausen, the extended bench? No.
So, but who do they play? They got Titans next week, and they finish with the Broncos.
He'll be back for that.
The Broncos will probably rest players.
He'll be in the week after.
Okay, so they're on equal points, Freddie, Broncos and
Yeah.
Penrith. Would they rest players, or would you want to win the minor premiership?
Well, I think they're young. They're different to Penrith. Penrith are hardened.
Yeah.
You know, they showed last year. They set their whole team down. They took a total inexperienced bunch of rookies up to the Cowboys who did a great job, got beat, and they came out and beat Parramatta in the first semi.
I don't think Penrith will rest their players around 26.
You
Around
don't?
27.
Oh,
They're at
mate.
home.
They play so hard, Penrith.
It's hard to rest. You've got your home fans there, last regular season game, but it'd be hard to leave them all out.
I'd be resting Nathan.
I'd be resting a few of them. I'd be resting their front rowers. I'd hate to go into a semi without Fisher Harris and
Leota. Spencer Lenny's back on the extended bench.
I'd be resting them
Raiders,
for sure.
Dogs?
Raiders have to win.
Jeez,
They have
ordinary.
to have a big at home.
Could you imagine if they could beat?
Mate, Ricky's watching.
I
Don't be-
know he's a big fan of the show.
love Ricky.
Hey, Stick.
We love Ricky Stewart.
Did you see his 84-second presser?
No, I didn't see the press conference.
Joey's words of wisdom. It's become the focal point of Freddy the Eighth every week.
I haven't got any words of wisdom
I knew
today.
he was going to say
last,
that.
Last week was...
Very good.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Don't wait to be
What,
happy,
yeah.
chase happiness, is that it?
Don't complain or something.
Yes, that old shot. Very baggy pants there, Andrew.
Might have a bit of weight loss. Probably didn't eat in about 3 days. Get that away from you.
All right, that's Freddy the Eighth from the Broom cupboard. We'll be back on our glorious
Can we find out
big
about
set next
Boris.
week. Carl
We need to
Stefanovic.
find out about Boris Becker.
Boris
All
Becker.
right.
Can someone tell us what did Boris do in the broom room?
Yeah, what's that about?
I thought he had a little bit of hanky-panky and he may have fathered something.
Well, I
From
know.
a broom closet.
How'd you know it was in the broom closet? I know that there is an illegitimate child there somewhere, but I didn't realise it was conceived in a broom closet.
Mate, on this doco,
He's a wild man.
well, it was on SBS.
Oh.
I love SBS.
I'll tell you about Boris. Geez, he could pull him. Couldn't keep him, but he could pull him. He had some absolute...
You talking about Boris Becker or Boris Johnson?
Gladness.
That's Freddy the Eighth for
SBS,
this
Friday
week.
night after the
We'd
footy.
better wind it up before we get in trouble. Goodbye.